Hi.
Hey.
You look frazzled.
I have kids.
All right. Trust me.
Zach looks like Zach.
Yeah.
I'm dirty.
Zach's been dealing with
Is that a pickup line?
I love it. I hope it is.
I feel like I should be wearing a hat after your comment. I look disheveled.
No, I said frazzled. There's a difference.
I heard what I wanted to hear.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Camcast 273, the one where Mike just drinks sad and alone in his basement with his frazzled friend and dirty quasi-child. I am.
Guess
Mike.
which one's which?
I am Mike, dear leader, dog taste, leader of men, herder of cats, guy who was forced to take a cold shower on Saturday after he got back from the track and then had to down 2 Powerades because his dad was afraid he was suffering from heat stroke. Seriously.
He thought you were suffering from heat stroke?
I mean, it was like 103 out at the track.
Well, you've suffered from heat stroke before in a Viper, so you should kind of know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wasn't exactly feeling great. I would call it heat exhaustion, not necessarily heat stroke, but whatever. It was fun to take a cold shower and have a cold shower beer.
When you start tasting colors, that's when you need to worry.
I mean, I saw music. So how was that?
Isn't that a movie? No, it's Sound of Music.
There you go. The hills are alive with our dirty child, the one, the only, the good Colonel Eddie Dean himself, the chairman of the boards, Zach Lords.
I don't like the Germans.
Well, I mean, they're doing their best to earn your trust back. So
their engineering is poor and complicated.
Their engineering is amazing and therefore complicated and beyond the grasp of plebs like us.
You don't need a control arm and a tie rod and a strut and a thing. And
the hell you don't. Whatever. Yeah. There's a reason I got rid of the GTI.
I'm working on a big GTI.
Yes, you are. And there he is, just nodding politely. It is the shadowy billionaire himself, Trent from Sandy, Trent Bray.
Ahoy, hoy.
There we go.
Okay. Do you want to make fun of me for a minute?
Always.
I finally realized what ahoy hoy is from.
Okay.
I was rewatching The Simpsons and Mr. Burns answered the phone like that.
Do you know why Mr. Burns answers the phone like that?
No fucking clue.
Because it is one of the many great Deep Simpsons jokes. So when Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, he wanted people to answer the phone ahoy hoy. And that's why Mr. Burns answers.
He's that old.
Yep.
He's been around since Alexander Graham Bell. So he knows to properly answer the phone ahoy hoy.
Yep. He's so old his social security number is 0000002.
Oh, there's 2?
Damn you, FDR.
Good stuff.
Indeed. Anyway, if you like more of that stuff and maybe somebody kind of yelling at the Formula One race, follow us on all the social medias. We're at Cam Automag on a lot of them. Instagram, Facebook, and now Twitter, now that we've got more racing happening on the TV.
Yeah, you got saucy on the Twitter over the weekend.
Yes, I did. I tried to. My God in heaven. Some dude responded to two of my tweets saying, yeah, until Mercedes are found out cheaters.
Okay.
Don't quite understand what the hell he was on about, but whatever. I think he might have maybe meant Racing Point, but we'll get to that later.
Don't feed the trolls, Mike. Don't feed them.
No. Although I had a great tweet last weekend. Oh boy. That got favorited by a lot of people. Could not capitalize on the success though. But whatever. We at least saw flashes of brilliance. Anyway, listen to this here podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play. Like, rate, review. share with your friends, subscribe, all that stuff. 5 stars, anything less, we're going to be very displeased with you. Yeah, I don't know, Chris. Whenever me and Trent, I told Chris about the idea for the Simpsons podcast, and he's like, well, when's it going to happen? Like, I don't know. I guess whenever life stops trying to kick me at every turn, and, when Trent gets more than 3 hours of sleep. Sound like a plan?
Hey, I'm down for getting 2 hours of sleep if it involves Simpsons.
All right, we'll drag Zach along. Sound like a plan?
He has to know at least something about Simpsons. So.
I do.
It could be. So here's how I think we could do this.
Okay, I'm listening.
So there's this podcast I listen to called The Dollop. It is an American history podcast, and the host, Dave Anthony, he reads a story about American history to his co-host, Gary Reynolds, who has no idea beforehand what the topic is going to be about. So he's literally going into it cold. Like, he might have some ideas about, or he might have heard about whatever it is, but for the most part, no clue. So we could do that sort of same thing with Zach here.
I've seen seasons 1 through 9 twice.
Cool.
I was going to say, should we throw out random trivia that...
We definitely could. I mean, we've got the books.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
Uno momento.
Okay, well, while Trent gets up and do that, I'm going to continue running through.
Just turn into...
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, hot damn. You got going with such gusto, I thought you were getting up.
No. Oh, no. It's right here.
Nice.
It was just out of kicking range.
No, mine is upstairs hanging out on my record player, which I need to find the power cord for because I really want to listen to some records. I really do. Anyway. Let's see. Go ahead and support us on Patreon, patreon.com/CamAutomag. That's where you go. If you're a patron supporting us at the shenanigans level or higher, which is $5 or up, you're seeing this podcast being broadcast in sound and vision live
from Utah.
Live from various points throughout the Salt Lake Valley and potentially Utah Valley.
Potentially.
Listen, he said he was going to show up, but I'm 50-50 at this point.
Yeah, we don't count our chickens until the eggs hatch.
Exactly.
Even when he's here, I don't know if I can confirm that or deny.
He could just leave at any moment. Like,
yeah.
All right, I'm out. See ya. Gotta get cigs.
The wheels could just fall off at any moment. Anyway, you get bonus content like this podcast broadcast to you every Monday when we record it. You get the podcast a day early. You get other bonus content. You get access to the super secret Shenanigans shitposting Facebook group. You can actually take part in Twitch Tuesday as opposed to just watching it on the old twitch.tv/CamAutoMike. Just all sorts of fun stuff for the low price of $5 a month. I know times are tough, and we appreciate anything. Really, we do. But yeah, $5 is the money number. So patreon.com/CamAutomag. I almost said the wrong thing at the wrong time, but CamAutoswag.com is where you go to get your official Cam merch, hats, long sleeve tees, short sleeve tees, hoodies, shorts, flip-flops. I was wearing both the shorts and the flip-flops this weekend. I felt pretty baller.
All class.
Yep. And now I have on order a new phone case for my new iPhone.
Yes.
Yeah.
You retired the SE.
And I got an SE. Yep. So, yeah, I got the iPhone 8 case because this thing is essentially just an iPhone 8 with the latest and greatest guts stuffed into it. Yeah, we've got that. We've got tote bags. We've got a whole bunch of other stuff over at CamAutoswag.com, the official home of Cam Auto Swag.
Only place to get your Cam Auto Swag.
There it is. And while you're out there dripping in all that hot boy swag, as Zach is wont to say, you can go ahead and, do what I did and really complete the look. Head over to SteadyBroke.com, support our sponsor, Steady Broke Clothing, and get yourself one of their many, many fine shirts. I was wearing my Broke AF shirt along with the Cam shorts and the flip-flops. It was a really choice look along with my bright orange shock top beer glasses that I had on. It was definitely a vibe. yeah, they got a bunch of really awesome, affordable, high-quality merchandise available. Go ahead and put as much of that in your cart as you want. Use coupon code CAMAUTO15 at checkout. Save 15% on your entire order. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can't live your dreams. Steady broke. Yep. Right. And the aforementioned Twitch Tuesday. If you are listening to this the day it releases, really start giving us $5 a month. Or be super cool to us and actually get in the shenanigans group. That's the other way. Like, climb to the top of the cool mountain and we will let you in. Or just give us, $5 a month. And this will be relevant information. We did Rocket League because that is a cross-platform game that I actually do enjoy. Yeah, starts at 7, twitch.tv/CamAutoMike. It's always a good time. It's at least going to be me and Chris, perhaps the one, the only, the hopefully not COVID-riddled Sen Samurai himself, maybe some other people. Yeah, he lives with his aunt. His aunt came back. She got tested. It came back positive. So, hoping our boy's okay.
We wish him the best.
Indeed, we do. We care about you, Kit. We really do. All right. Let me jump through some shout-outs real quick, and then we'll talk about each other for a second. Happy birthday to the following people. Tyler Harris, only from way back in the day. Ryan Thomas, J.R. Crosby, Trevor Pope, Trevor with 2 E's, Bruno Carniero, Mrs. Shadowy Billionaire, Chance Behunin, and John Butcher. And then I want to give a special shout-out to David Curtis's dad, George. He had a heart attack a little bit ago.
Ooh, that's not good.
No, it is not good. As a guy whose dad had a heart attack, and then, it's not great. It really takes a toll on everybody, but George is doing good. The rest of the Curtis clan is doing good. And George is doing so good that he got himself back on track, literally. He was on track this past NASA Utah weekend in a prepped E36. So shout out to George and David.
Good for them.
Yep. All righty. Well, I might have gotten heat exhaustion and I did some broadcasting for NASA Utah over the weekend. What have you guys been up to?
the visual. If you didn't get the visual, then yeah, it wasn't as good. But speaking of the COVID,
I'm gonna say heat exhaustion.
No, my barber has the COVID, and so he had to cancel my appointment. So the hair will continue to be long for a while.
Well,
the frazzled
he
trend
was
on.
Salt Lake County did not allow him to do beard trims, so I've been going to Utah County to get my beard trimmed. And so that's still on for tomorrow.
All right.
But yeah, family stuff. Went camping last week. That's why I wasn't on, but it was a solid time. I flexed my $50 new bright RC car on rocks.
Hell yeah.
And sent a bunch of pictures to Pizza Stepdad, and he's trying to talk me into getting one of the $400 Traxxas rock crawling RC cars. So we'll see if that happens.
It would be kind of fun, but also, you sure? Yeah.
It would be a lot of fun for like 30 minutes.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Well, Zach, how about you? Anything new with you?
I rode in a giant crane truck this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah. I found out that you don't use the clutch between gears. You just kind of just rev and just hope.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, I didn't do that much that cool this weekend. No, I took the S4 out this weekend. That was fun.
Nice.
Put some miles on it. Tried racing some bikes. Didn't work out very well. But it was a good time.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
It was relatively boring for me this weekend. That's what I'm trying to say.
No. Nothing wrong with a boring weekend. All right. Well, looks like old stepdad has yet to show up.
Well, he did say second half, so he probably means once we get to the racing news.
So help me God if he's just watching this and just waiting to jump in.
Hey, I've been known to do that when you guys have been dicks, and
but that's
No,
to further.
hold on. We need
But that's to
clarify.
further a bit.
When I've been
Yes.
a dick,
It's
we
true.
can't say Mike has been a dick. It was me.
yeah, pretty much.
Pretty
Thank you.
much.
Thank you for acknowledging my dickness.
Alrighty. Well, we've got a bunch of stuff in the agenda. However, things have happened as of late. So, what do we want to do, gents? Do we want to make some evasive maneuvers into the new news, or stick with what we've got?
No. Let's stick with what we've got. That gives Brandon a chance, if he does show up, to make said comment, because that's what pretty much the only news I'm sure he followed out of all this.
Probably. Alrighty, well, getting into it. If you thought the second half of this year was going to get any better, you've sorely underestimated your fellow American, one. But two, mail trucks are just bursting into flames, and nobody really knows why. These are those.
An American staple, the U.S. mail truck.
Yes, the little Northrop Grumman, LLV or whatever it's called. The little thing powered by the Iron Duke.
Yeah.
The
And-
thing
And the crazy thing is that, it was slated to be replaced a couple years ago, but wasn't it slated to be replaced a couple years before that too?
Yeah, it was going
this
to
has just been forever.
Yeah, this was
sorry.
that 2 years ago is just the absolute drop dead. We need to get rid of these things. But nobody's
do
got
they
a
still
replacement.
make them?
Nope.
So that means there are specialized mechanics to work on that.
Yep.
Their fleet. I would love to see statistics of how many miles their fleet has covered.
I mean, it's
Billions.
yeah.
It would be an absurd number.
So since May of here's another absurd number for you. Since May of 2014, at least 407 of the Northrop Grumman LLVs have been damaged or destroyed in fires, or approximately one every 5 days.
Okay, I thought this was going to be 7 to 15 have caught fire in the past 2 years. No, almost 500.
Yeah,
and how much you said? 470 something.
407 in the last 6 years. So
over 400. Jesus.
Yeah, so about once a week, one is just bursting into flames, and again, nobody really knows why.
Hold on, I want to pull up some statistics on my own.
Okay, you do that. Yeah, they've been well maintained LLVs, they've been poorly maintained LLVs. They've ones the super old ones, relatively new ones, cold climate, hot climate, humid, dry. Nothing is really showing up as to why these things are bursting into flames. And
there's just one plausible thing.
What do you got?
They're suiciding themselves.
Okay, no.
Just saying, I've
been
had enough.
I've been living with the Iron Duke too long.
So as of 2018, the U.S. Postal Service owns and operates a little over 230,000 vehicles, and 141,000 of them are the LLVs. So, okay, what's the math here? What's the percentage rate? 400. I don't know how to do math.
Hold on, I got this.
441,000.
So they're not bursting into flames at a crazy high rate, approximately 0.25%.
But that's still a notable percent.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you have one going up in flames once every every 5 days, that's a problem.
Business week, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's oof. Yeah, so there you go, folks. This year ain't getting any better.
Also, the original sell price of the USPS was somewhere between $15,000 and $25,000.
Yeah, no, it's certain people in government have hated the post office, so it's the post office is in a really bad spot. So, yeah, for reasons I don't quite understand.
There are certain models of the LLV that did not go with air conditioning.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, man.
I'm surprised there were models that came with air conditioning. You didn't have the door open all the time.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, you're puttering through. You got enough room. You got enough time to get that thing cooled off before you have to pop the door open.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway. Hey, so remember that time Harbor Freight had to recall a bunch of jack stands?
That was our first real sign that 2020 might be a bad year.
Well, this is hammering it home. They have had to recall the jack stands meant to replace the recalled jack stands.
Yes.
So if you own any of the fresh new Pittsburgh 3, 6, or 12-ton jack stands, you can go return them for a refund, even if they're not the specifically recalled ones.
Yeah, I have some of the recalled ones currently holding up my Viper, but they're the original recalled ones, so they're good. The new ones are failing at a higher rate.
Yep.
But I should say I've got 4 Pittsburgh ones and 2 AC Delco.
Oh, boy.
And I specifically put the 2 AC Delco in there because of the 4 Pittsburgh ones as backups. And then I've got some cinder blocks under the tires. So if it did fail, I won't be crushed to death. I just might get hurt a little bit.
If you're telling me you don't want to die from your Viper crushing you,
no,
heard, that might be a fitting way to go.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah?
Just so you know, don't come anywhere near it for a little while.
Yeah, no, I'm going to stay the hell away.
We got to get it off those jack stands before it goes anywhere near you.
Yeah, no, I'm not heading over anytime soon. I'm trying to stay as far away from, the East Sandy bench as I can. We're just trying to stay away as best as possible. So, yeah, don't worry. I'm doing my part to keep you safe. Yeah. But it's just the best part is the company revealed that, quote, a small number, end quote, of the replacement Pittsburgh 3-ton jack stands suffer from a welding deficit and, like the original batch, could fail while supporting a vehicle.
Kind of their whole job.
Did they just use the same tooling to make the new ones without fixing anything?
Eric Schmidt, the president of Harbor Freight, says the welding deficit wasn't discovered in the initial investigation, and the affected model has since been added to the list of recalled stands. The initial recall from May had to do with insufficient ratchet tooth engagement attributed to excess wear in the dies used to manufacture the stands.
Yeah, so they just use the same tooling.
Yep, exactly.
Chris Miller says that perfectly. Harbor Freight has removed the notion that a static jack stand was to be safer than a hydraulic floor jack.
Just give me those Widowmakers, baby. One on each corner. I like to live that kind of dangerous life.
Yes.
Oh, man. All right. Well, moving on to some slightly better news, some more interesting, fun news. The Lotus Evija.
No.
Evija.
No.
Whatever.
Evija.
Whatever. Who cares?
You take it from a Lotus person.
Okay, yes. The Lotus Evija will be able to go plaid. They are saying it will do 0 to 124 in under 6 seconds. 0 to 186 in 9 seconds.
Yeah, so the Bugatti Per Sport does 0 to 186 in 12.4 seconds as a reference.
Yeah.
It is absurd.
Jeez.
This is looking to blow the doors off of pretty much any of these crazy, limited edition run hypercars.
Mm-hmm.
So,
is this our generation, or I guess my generation's Bugatti Veyron?
Maybe. Except I think there are a few more Bugattis, a few more Veyrons out there.
True, yeah.
Than the 130 planned examples of the Evija.
Before the end of the year. That's all. It says 130 examples before the end of the year.
Well, the Bugatti was only making...
Oh, no. Sorry, you're right. Mike's right. Yeah. First of the 130 planned examples.
Yeah.
Get it right, Trent. Yes.
I had to rewrite that because I was just like, they're going to deliver all 130 by the end of the year? What the shit? And then I'm like, oh, wait, I need to read the thing So
Yep, same with me.
yeah, reading is hard.
It
Yeah.
is.
Anyway,
But yeah,
Oh.
they're not trying to go for the quickest 0 to 60 time per se. They just said less than 3 seconds.
yeah.
But once
Like-
it gets past 60, it's just like,
Exactly. Like I said, they will have gone plaid.
yeah.
And that's
I mean, it's a 2,000 horsepower
all-wheel drive.
all-wheel drive electric vehicle.
Yeah. Like, it's gonna do that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of electric vehicles, long live the Bolt and the Bolt EUV. Rest in peace, Chevy Sonic. We hardly knew ye.
I thought this died like 3 years ago.
I kind of thought the same.
Yeah, I was right there with you. So, like, sales were down 32% from last year.
Is this one thing for like it died in the U.S. 2 or 3 years ago, but Mexico is making it for longer?
No, it was
No.
here.
You could buy a
Yeah.
2020 model year Chevy Sonic.
Yep.
Yep.
God.
Uh-huh.
Sales were down 32%. So basically, they went from 10 cars to 7 cars that they sold.
Yep.
Yeah.
But don't worry, everybody at GM's Orion Assembly Plant, where this thing was built, they will still be employed because they are switching that factory over to build the Bolt and whatever the hell the Bolt EUV is.
Electric utility vehicle. 'Cause
Okay.
That's a thing.
Yep.
Are they still making the Cadillac variant of the Bolt?
No.
Ooh.
You're talking about the
ELR?
Volt.
Yeah, no, Volt.
No, that's been gone for years.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
The Volt's been gone for-
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
for over a year.
I'm losing it.
it's all right. We're all barely clinging on at this point.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Speaking of things that don't make sense,
Speaking
That works.
Yo, dog. Remember that one time the game glitched?
well, we got a glitch for your glitch. Ford Focus, known to be a super fast vehicle. in
Ask
terms of
anybody.
top speed, right?
Ask anybody with Crackle Tune on their RS or ST.
Oh, fastest
Yes.
car I've ever driven.
Yep.
Speaking of which, somebody installed a Crackle Tune on one of those STs and proceeded to go up and down by my house repeatedly with it just dragging because it's kind of a downhill. It's just pop, 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 pop. This is like 11 o'clock at night, just back and forth like 6 times.
I've got one better for you.
Oh, great. Let's hear it.
There is some dude with an FRS that I swear to God is just exhaust from like the exhaust ports on the head's back. So it is loud. It is annoying. It's not like awful, but it's just incredibly loud. And he just slowly cruises up and down 7th. Just like, I guess, waiting for somebody because the next street over, that's the dude who has that sunburst yellow Miata. And also an E63 AMG Estate pops up over there, and like a first gen Cayenne Turbo, a couple of crazy looking like 996s. He's also got like a 993 or the generation a 930 Cabrio that is just hideous looking because he decided to put like 18s on it. But yeah, like I guess he's just like waiting for this dude to like wake up and come challenge him in the mean streets of the suburbs. But what he'll do is he will stop, like he'll just park at the end of my street, just like not turn down, but just like pull off. So he's just there idling. And occasionally he'll just randomly blip the throttle and he'll just sit there for like 20 minutes.
It makes a lot of sense.
Is it like it has a wing on it, right?
I don't know. I've only ever seen it in the dead of night. So I can't quite tell. The only reason I know it's an FRS or a BRZ is because of the taillights.
I saw one a couple weeks ago going by your house on that street, and I was like, what the fuck is this doing here?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that car definitely won't be doing those speeds.
No. Yeah. Back to the glitch, the real life glitch here.
Yeah, so we were talking about Focus, right?
Yes, a Focus.
Focus, guys,
So
focus.
you think Bugatti Veyron, now Lotus Evija, and Ford Focus as the top speed champions.
Clearly.
So it was. There was. I remember putting the story in here. Almost a week ago, so I forgot where it was.
It was.
I'm looking Italy. There we go.
Yep.
So
a Ford
Italy. A Ford Focus goes past a speed camera. The speed limit was 70 kilometers an hour or 43 miles per hour, but it was clocked at 437 miles per hour or 703 kilometers per hour.
Amazing.
So obviously a digit thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
But, obviously a Ford Focus, in the best of conditions, will do 155 maybe. The crazy thing is, though, through this whole thing, he gets the owner of the vehicle gets a ticket for $964,
850
€10
euros.
Points. Yeah, and 10 points on their license. And the local highway commission says you should just accept the ticket.
Yeah.
And then try to fight for compensation on the dollar amount.
Which is insane.
Like,
to say the least, like
I can see their point a little bit. Like something still tripped the camera, so he was still speeding.
No. Okay, follow the numbers here. The speed limit was 70 kilometers per hour. He was clocked at 703. 437 miles per hour. 70 kilometers is 43 miles per hour. There is just a digit thrown extra in there.
Yeah. It's literally, they just it is a glitch. And they're saying
it is.
And they're not even going to work with them on the points on their license. They're just saying, take that and see if you can fight the fine. Which is, yeah.
Yeah.
What would your reaction be if you were caught going 394 miles per hour over the speed limit?
Fucking frame it.
I don't know, Motor1.com. My God in heaven.
Shit.
Yeah, I think I would have a problem with that. I think I would probably, fight it.
And how?
I'd be the next person on Oprah at that point.
Right? Anybody who's going to take me.
Yeah. Write a book about it.
God damn.
Yes, but I do agree with you, Zach, in the fact that I would frame that.
Yeah, you have to. You have to at that point.
Oh, you got caught going 125? Numbers. You got to pump up those numbers.
Scoreboard.
Try to take off speed for a large or a military jet. Yeah.
No. I think even then it takes off at 155 miles an hour.
I think they're closer to 300. I think the speed's a lot higher than you think.
I mean,
I don't know. I'll be honest.
300 some odd miles an hour is half the speed of sound. So if you have to get a bird up to the half the speed of sound to get it off the ground, there's a bit of a problem. Yeah.
F-16.
Okay, well, Zach does that. We're going to talk about Lamborghini has debuted yet another new thing.
Yes, the Scion Roadster. So there's Tesla likes to do their whole Easter egg of the S3XY, because it's sexy. This is for you, Luke, who's watching
sex
in the
thing.
chat.
I get it.
So
Elon's so clever.
Yeah, Lamborghini did 19 Roadsters and 63 Coupes for 1963 to commemorate when Lamborghini was introduced. But I'm really intrigued by this vehicle. Sorry, I cut you off there.
Oh, yeah. 1963, the year where founder of Lamborghini told Enzo to fuck himself because he fixed his wife's car with a tractor clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one way of describing it.
Mike is also right. It's 200 miles an hour.
Yeah. I know a thing or two.
Anyway, so this Lamborghini, though, is a hybrid. However, it does not use the traditional lithium-ion battery. It uses a supercapacitor, which is really intriguing. So
That is intriguing.
Yeah, a supercapacitor basically allows you to,
I can explain technology.
Oh, you know what? Let's see what the kid can do.
I've been really interested in things like Gauss guns.
Who's
Gauss.
on the story for Motor One, by the way? It's blocking, okay. never
That's
mind.
me.
I'm in there.
So a supercapacitor is something. It's a solid state electrical or electrical holding system. So it's very easy. What?
I'm laughing at AJ. Sorry, he just jumped in the chat.
It's a.
Speaking of jumping in,
I guess I'll never be nerdy.
no, you can. Oh, God damn it, Trent.
Brandon,
what I didn't
you
think
came in
I
at
could
the
look.
right time.
Thank you, Trent. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey.
There we
What
go.
did I miss? Yes.
I was trying to be nerdy, but
No, go ahead. Be nerdy.
We're
The floor
talking
is yours.
supercapacitors, Brandon.
Oh, well, hey, let me give you just a little bit of advice, Zach, my dear boy. Just be yourself, okay? And then you will be nerdy.
Done.
Straight to the dad jokes. I win. Hi, guys.
Hi.
hi.
Hey.
Okay, supercapacitors. It's a solid state of electrical storage that has a very fast, very high rate of discharge. You can discharge many amps very fast. I see a block Brandon's face right now. There we go.
Why, though?
I'm sorry, I'm awake. This is fascinating. This is my
And
language.
but the appeal is they have a very quick recharge.
Mm.
And so you can charge up a large bank of power much quicker than you would do like a lithium ion because
Yeah,
it's
just like-
I'm done fucking talking.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, just like my wiener. Oh! Large bank of power, quickly recharge. Oh, he did. Oh, he turned off his camera. Zach, come back.
Yeah.
Dan Chilinsky wants you back. You're speaking Dan's language. Dan
Yeah.
is like, oh, finally, someone who understands me.
Yeah, I think Chris is in the chat here is interested to see how you do too.
Yeah, we're all pulling for you. Don't take my getting up as a sign of no confidence. I need to go get.
I'm done
here.
talking about this now. I did it. It's cool because they charge really fast and they discharge really fast, and you can have a very high rate of discharge, and so it's perfect for a vehicle application. But the issue is it's also very dangerous and volatile because you're storing a lot higher voltages than you are like lithium ion. Lithium ion, the Tesla pack runs like a couple hundred volts, where like a supercapacitor you're running much higher voltages. It's the same
So-
thing like railguns use and stuff.
Jesus.
Chris chimed in. He said the difference between a regular capacitor and a supercapacitor is the ability to hold a charge for a long length of
I
time.
noticed that piece of it too. Yeah, a capacitor must have a constant state of flow into it, whereas a supercapacitor is closer to a battery in the sense where it is able to store it. But also the same things where it has the same abilities of a normal capacitor, where higher discharge, quicker recharge.
All right. Well,
So
Because, for example, of how fast and quickly capacitors can charge and stuff. So you know how AC and DC is a flat line of power, and AC is whoop, 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 whoop. You can use capacitors to level out those inconsistencies to create a DC thing.
Right. And they're
So-
dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Also,
Yeah.
AC and DC. When you
Dynamite!
Yeah. This is fascinating. though.
anyway, the
I'm assuming there was Tesla news. I'm just kidding.
Lamborghini news.
yes, we're talking to Lamborghini.
Oh,
The Cyan Roadster.
the Uranus Roadster. Yes. Mm.
Yeah, so basically it only stores enough electricity for when you're like parking or backing up, so it's not going to be a huge amount, but it does store enough that it keeps the power going while the gears are changing, so you never really slow down. It's pretty awesome that, it continues to accelerate even as you're shifting for that minute amount, but it only adds 34 horsepower into the driveline, but total horsepower output is 819. So
Ooh.
not a bad amount. And there is no top to this. Like you can't option it with a top. There's just, it's open. It's the way it is.
Just like my life.
Poorly optioned and painful.
Yeah, I don't understand
Always
that.
open.
Yeah, I didn't follow
Open.
on that one.
Always
Open.
open. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not sure where you're going with that one, but
I don't either.
it's all right.
But
I'll give you a C for effort.
Just give me a D for effort. That's what I actually deserve.
I'll
Nobody.
give you an F and a U.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
Just
nobody.
kidding.
Yeah, nobody in this thing is going
I-
to give you
I-
the D, Zach.
I was gonna say, I thought Brandon was going to give you the D.
I'll give you the. Be prepared to be disappointed.
Yeah.
You always do.
Yeah, I always do.
Well, speaking
That
of
got salty really fucking fast. Sorry.
well, speaking of potential disappointment, the Mazda 3 Turbo is now officially official.
Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's available only as an automatic, which we were expecting, but it is only available in all-wheel drive, which I was not expecting.
Yeah.
And we knew from Mexico that it was going to make 227 horsepower, but they threw a little curveball in there. It will
Ooh.
make 250 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque if you have access to 93 octane.
Ooh.
What if I have access to corn juice? What'll it do then?
Yeah, 700 horsepower
Sweet.
on the corn.
I don't think so, but you're welcome to try.
All right. Let's do this.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Have
The-
ethanol.
He
I
does.
have
We wished him happy birthday earlier. J.R.
We
Crosby.
did.
Yeah, Junior.
Yep.
Love you, JR.
Anyway.
But
In-
honestly, if you
ter-
do need ethanol,
If-
we have 300 gallons at my shop.
Good to know. If all of that turbo spice is too much for you, you can still get the base 2-liter 155 horsepower engine. That's still an option.
Which is new, actually. What I was trying to say is the interesting thing is they debuted a more powerful motor, and then they went the opposite end and debuted a lower power motor. So the standard motor right now is 186 horsepower, 2.5 liter, but they put this base motor in probably for price. They haven't announced pricing yet, but they're thinking it's going to slot in under that $20,000 mark if they stuck that motor in there, and it's,
So-
stripped out base motor.
I was going to
Base
say,
model.
so if the power goes down, the efficiency goes up, right? That's kind of the
Yeah. That's
thought.
kind of.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
this is the Sky Active
Energy-
G motor that we are familiar with, not the Sky Active X that everybody's clamoring for and wants to try in the US. So,
Skype X is the variable compression engine.
is it variable compression? I honestly don't know enough about the Sky Active X.
I thought that's what it was.
I
But-
remember hearing something about variable compression, and then
I know Infinity was throwing out variable compression stuff. They're terrible commercials. Anyway.
well, Infinity also did the hoverboard
Compression
commercial.
ignition is what it is.
All right.
Yeah. So it's a gasoline diesel.
I love it. All righty. Well, we have come to a new challenger in the lineup for the news.
Yes. So we specifically saved this story for you, Brandon, for the fact
Yes.
that it's probably the only thing that you knew out of this news story of
Correct.
the whole agenda. It's the new Bronco.
a new Bronco.
Woo!
And they didn't screw it up? Like, this isn't like Ford.
Well, I mean, if you think
Give it
about
time.
like
Give it
look
time.
at their track record, though. I mean, Ford does what they want when they want to, and that's why I love Ford right now. I mean, the GT350 Mustang, that thing is, Ferrari said you can never build a flat plane crank greater than X amount of liters. And Ford's like, F you, we'll do it, and they did it. Sure, it burns oil.
that's canceled now, right?
Yeah, it's dead. I know, but
Yeah.
they did it. And then
They
the
did.
Ford Raptor. I mean, the F-150 Raptor. They're like, oh, you can't jump a truck. Well, watch us. We'll do it, from the factory. We'll bend the frame because idiots will go way too fast. But I love this. It looks like a freaking SEMA truck. It looks like a SEMA build, this new Bronco.
Yeah,
does look
so
really
you
good.
get you get the ones with the optional 35-inch tires, and it's like, wow, they are that looks pretty sharp. Like I'm impressed with it.
I can't believe you can get it from the factory with 35-inch, and it looks like it has bead lockers on there, but maybe they're fake.
No, they're
Well,
fake.
it is bead lock capable from the factory, so they can't install the bead locks because of federal
Regulations.
DOT crap.
Yeah.
But they do have bead locks that you just pop on there. But yeah, great departure and approach angles. It's got locking front and rear differentials. It has the disconnecting front sway bar, and the cool thing about it compared to the Wrangler is you can actually do it at speed and under articulation.
Oh, wow.
So like with
On
the
the
Wrangler,
fly.
with the Wrangler, you've got to stop, put it in neutral, let it reconnect, and then you can continue. This thing, it can, while you're going, even with undulation, like it will reconnect.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Which is way better than my 1991 Land Cruiser. I could do it while I'm moving, but I have to crawl under the vehicle and potentially risk death to pull 2 cotter pins out to get the sway bar disconnect off. But I probably could do it while it's moving. I probably won't, though, because I don't want to die.
Is
But
this
that's
why you have,
yeah.
This is the reason why you had children, so you just have them crawl out. And
Yeah.
all the stuff.
tiny hands. Yeah, they just
yeah.
get in there and
Exactly.
just, and they're so great with their physical skills. I mean, they're just up there.
It's the only way they're gonna learn.
Yeah. No,
Um,
that's kudos to Ford. We've been teased with this thing for how many years now?
For quite a while.
Not only that, they did make the faux pas of trying to debut it on O.J. Simpson's birthday, though. So that got pushed
Not
back
great.
a few days.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Someone didn't do their research. and
Not
someone
great
lost
for
their
PR.
job.
I'm
No.
disappointed
No.
that didn't just carry through.
hey, so I will say this: so no V8 option, but they do have that 7-speed manual, which is
Mhm.
basically 6-speed with a reverse and a crawler gear, which that crawler gear gives you a crawl ratio of 94.75 to 1.
Pretty
From-
impressive.
Yeah, like for something like for Ford's first attempt at something like this, like okay, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm impressed
So-
with your offering.
Yeah.
Just like,
That.
oh yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Go ahead, Zach.
No, what I'm saying is dumb and didn't make any sense.
So that
Not as dumb as-
7-speed.
Go ahead.
Your turn, Brandon.
What?
Pause and
So
fence.
the 7-speed is only available on the 2.3 liter turbo 4-cylinder. They do, however, offer the 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost. However, it's only available with the 10-speed auto.
Well,
Which is still a really good transmission.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like you're with the 10-speed and the V6, your max crawl ratio is 67.8 to 1.
Still pretty impressive.
With
Yeah.
like this thing is pretty great. And I was gonna say, not as dumb as what I'm about to say. That wood-looking shift knob is pretty fucking tight.
That is super
Yeah.
tight. I want it.
Pointing out a visual cue on an audio medium.
Or is
That's
that
what I'm-
leather? Is that leather on that, or is that wood?
It looks wood.
Yeah.
It's giving me wood.
Ah.
Is this the next Carrera GT?
Yeah, but I will say this. I mean,
No
you're
one-
getting
no one.
310 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque out of the
Mhm.
V6, and that tiny of a package. That's just.
That thing will move.
I am sold. There will be a 1991 Toyota Land Cruiser listed tomorrow for me to buy this shit. So
$1,000.
$5,000. That's the cheapest
15.
Land Cruiser in
Two.
Utah. At
Two.
$5,000, it's the cheapest.
22.
Land Cruiser.
I'll
Okay,
trade-
sold. $22.
Oh, $22? Cool. Hold on,
So-
I got cash right now.
It's on 35s as well, and it'll do 70 miles an hour.
I will give you 3 with the
Downhill?
rooftop tent.
Downhill, yeah. I have to shift. It has to downshift 4 times to go over the point of the mountain. But whatever.
Whatever.
So more unique things about this is Bronco, though. It has like tie down points on the hood, so like you can do
your limb
run
risers.
Yeah,
Surfboard.
yeah.
Get your limb risers.
But then it's also a completely open roof. There's no crossbar. So when you take the top off, there's no crossbar to get in the way like with the Wrangler. It is an open air experience. Which
Oh yeah, look at that.
pretty cool in and of
The
itself.
way
Ooh,
OJ
the
wanted to
four-door looks
four-door.
so sweet.
Yeah, with that blue and the white. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, this is not the medium to talk about this, but yeah, that is. I am sold. How much? Oh yeah, we'll probably get to that. But
Yeah. Well, now's a good time as any. It starts at $30,000 for the 2-door, and the 4-door starts at $35,000. Aside from that, we have no idea, but don't be surprised if it crests over $60,000 by the time you load it up.
Yeah,
wasn't that about the same as a Wrangler, like a loaded up Wrangler?
Yeah.
You're out the door at $60,000 roughly.
I do
Yeah.
like how the Bronco icon, whatever you want to call it, is the same as the Mustang, but just kicking.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Oh, is it doing the? It's like kicking the rears. Oh yeah, it is. Look at that.
But it's the same as the Mustang logo.
Yeah. But it's rearing up to give you a good kick in the booty.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh man, those base
also-
model
also-
Steelies though. Those
I
are
know.
I like those. I really do.
And you can option out 1552 wheels from the factory.
Ooh.
Look at those off-road wheels. Those are made by 1552, and they're from. You can get them from the factory with the 35-inch tire package. That is so rad. Oh
damn.
my gosh.
And I like how this is just a small. Well, hold on. Does it? It has an actual spot for you to mount shit onto. Is that what's it called? The NATO rail on the dash?
On the dash?
Look at that. Go to the front of the dash.
Let me see. Let me scroll down. Getting a weird ad right there. Stop using toilet paper. Anyways, let's see.
Because that's awesome.
Yeah, it's got mounting points on the dash, mounting points on the back of the seats. Like,
Man,
Wow.
all sorts of places.
Does it have the
yeah.
same thing the Raptor had? The Raptor had, where you get the auxiliary switches.
Oh yeah, it looks like on the top of the dash there. Yeah.
well, it's
There's
got
like a
the
button.
locking differentials up there. I don't
Oh,
think they're
gotcha.
auxiliary. I think they're all taken up. But
I'd like to think that there's probably a spot somewhere that we're missing, that there are some just open auxiliary switches.
I'm sure they are. There's gotta
I
be
can't
somewhere.
wait to see one of these with a KC light bar on the top.
Oh man.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't even need to modify it. You just buy it from the factory with 35s, a nice mild
Seriously.
lift. You're good to go. Nothing. Don't need to add anything. I'm buying one. Well,
All right.
not for $60,000, but I'll wait for 2 years when they hit the used car market. Although they'll still be $60,000. But yeah.
yeah.
I could see these holding value very well.
Oh, yeah. They'll be going for over sticker, I'm sure, when they first come out.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they've got, like vinyl interior options all the way up to super nice leather, 12-inch infotainment screen. Like, you can make this as stripped out or as loaded up as you want.
AJ points out the whole reason of swapping while stationary is that you don't need to have synchros that break and wear out.
Ah.
Which,
Or you just have a kid, AJ, and they do it for you.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Well, you got to have a bunch because you're going to lose a few as you're trying it.
Yeah,
so.
we lost Jimmy back on Hell's Revenge.
So you always
Fell
start
out.
with the third because that's the one you care the least about. So shove them under the car and then work your way.
I would start with
So-
the middle one so they can get experience, something they can teach the others.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, are more kids on the horizon than there, Brandon?
For me, hell no.
Yeah.
No.
Or
I have a-
are we the kids you're sending under the Bronco?
correct. Yes. Zach
Okay.
first. Just kidding, Zach. Love you, buddy.
And
All
then final thing I was going to say on this is it has trail turn assist where it brakes the inside wheel and then accelerates the outside wheels to try and get around the turns a little bit quicker or tighter rather in off-road conditions, which is pretty awesome.
Nice. That is definitely awesome.
But yeah, well, I'm impressed. Like I was a skeptic and I'm impressed. So that says something.
Yeah.
We impressed Trent. That's a lot.
Way to go, Ford.
Not saying I'm buying one, but
But still.
I would respect anyone that bought one.
So it's funny that this just happened today because I was just like, my brake booster went out on my, it's going out on my Land Cruiser. And I'm like, man, I'm just going to buy something modern that I can go hit the trails with. And here it is.
Here you
I
are.
ask and the Lord giveth. Now I just
Yeah.
need to sell a testicle to afford that 60K.
Oh, I'm
Hey,
in the market.
Ew. No,
you've got
they're old. Hardly used. Anyway, so okay.
You just need $100 deposit right now to reserve it. So, you do $100 now and you figure out.
Testicle?
No.
There's literally 7 people in line for that too. So I mean, I got $700. No.
Anyway, so let's move on from the Bronco, shall we?
Yeah, kudos to Ford. Congrats. Love it.
Yes. You can soon get some rear wheel action in your Audi flavor of R8 next year, this 2021 model year. So previously the R8 RWS was a limited edition rear wheel drive model back in 2018. Well, the following year it stuck around in Europe, stayed around as a rear wheel drive model, but it went away in the US. But EPA listings show it should be here in both Coupe and Spider next year as a standard model rear-wheel drive R8, which is kind of cool.
Well, all right then. So, yeah, it looks like the EPA is also saying 5.2-liter V10, 7-speed gearbox, 532, well, assuming the specs are the same as the Euro model, 532 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque, which is down 30 horsepower from the all-wheel drive version and 18 pound-feet. So, but hey, I mean, you have less stuff to carry around, so you can afford to make a little less power.
Yeah.
So.
It's the Lamborghini way. They do the same thing with their rear-wheel drive models. No surprise that it's basically a Huracan, but yeah, it's a little less power, but it's less weight too. So
nice, and perhaps a little cheaper because in Europe the rear-wheel drive R8 Coupes and Spiders are about €22,000 or $25,000 cheaper than their base Quattro versions. So that means you could catch one for less than $150,000 if you wanted to, but you don't want to. You want the convertible, and that's $157,000. So,
that's too much now. I can't do that. I guess
you can stretch it out. Hey, they do 144-month loans on those things. You could figure it out.
144 a month for real?
Yeah, man.
Wow. The exotic car brokers will do like 12-year loans on that.
What fucking interest rate?
9% probably.
I can't say I've looked enough into it, so I couldn't tell you exactly.
If anybody, it would have been you, Trent.
I'm sorry. I've let you all down.
Actually, no, it would have been Brandon with his desire for Ferrari by 40.
Oh, I am 40, so I failed that one. Yay!
Hey!
Thanks, coronavirus and the world ending and my stock market going. So whatever. We were at 430. We hit 430 budget levels, and now I can't even afford a Fiat. So whatever.
Hey. Well, hey, good news. We're going to talk some more kind of off-roading stuff, so maybe that'll perk you up. The Gladiator is going to be getting the Eco Diesel.
The now defunct Gladiator, because the Bronco exists. Just kidding.
Hey.
Different market. It's got a bed.
It's got a bed on it.
It's
a 4.5 foot bed. Yeah.
Hey.
And it tows like 7,800 pounds. So I mean, I really doubt the Bronco will do that.
No.
They'll do 5 max.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's getting 440 pound-feet of torque. So I mean, that's not bad.
It's not terrible.
Basically, it expands the motor lineup for the Gladiator. It still doesn't offer the turbo 4-cylinder like the Wrangler does, but nobody wants that in the Gladiator anyway.
No, so nobody wants that in anything with a bed, really.
No.
Yeah, but automatic only, same axle ratios as the gas motor, so it'll have 410s on the Rubicon, which is stellar, especially when you've got that torque behind it. So no MPG ratings yet, but obviously expect some improvement over the V6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Eco Diesel in the Wrangler Unlimited does 22 city, 29 highway, 25 combined. So,
which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. So
In the stock setup, though, I wonder what the percentage is of these that exit the dealer lot and immediately get 37s or 42s swapped on it with a beefy lift. I would assume a high percentage. So
I want to start seeing gladiators rolling coal.
That would
put some stacks on it.
That's the dream.
Cali lean or
Carolina get the heck out of here with that. No.
Anyway, so not to be outdone by Ford, FCA unveiled the Jeep Wrangler 392 concept.
Yep.
6.4 liter Hemi in the Wrangler, making 450 horsepurs and torques.
Which is funny because we were just talking about this last week. It's like they're having strategy meetings. Like, what should we do now? Let's put the Hemi in something else.
Yeah,
let's turn a Hellcat into a Wrangler and call it good.
Yep.
I want to start the hashtag. Give me a Hellcat journey.
Yeah.
Not journey. What was it?
No, it was the Journey. The Journey was the only Dodge that didn't have a Hellcat option at this point.
That's because the Journey's been killed off.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're done with that. I want a Hellcat Pacifica.
That's what I asked for last week.
Yeah.
22s.
Well, there we
spinners. Go. No, that's great. But I thought it was funny. Yeah, the timing of this was great. They released some spy photos the day before, right? Wasn't it on the eve?
Yeah, on the eve of the Wrangler reveal or the Bronco reveal.
No, so they did the teaser a couple days ago, but they showed the concept, today when the Bronco was released today.
I'm sorry, they didn't quite do as good a job as Ford did when they unveiled the Ford GT when Acura unveiled the NSX finally. Remember that? The same day, and no one knew the Ford GT was coming and stole all of Acura's thunder. I mean, Jeep tried. They tried, but it's cool. I don't think they'll make it though.
No, wait, hold up there.
Oh, time out.
There are prototypes, and not just like one or two. They've made 30 prototypes of the 392 Wrangler, which there's no reason for them to make 30 prototypes unless they're really trying to make it work. Mm-hmm. So no word on if it's going to happen, but
you don't pound out 30 prototypes without the anticipation of you doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've ruled out the Hellcat because they can't pass crash test ratings with stuffing that big motor in there. So, but apparently they could get away with the 6.4. So here's to hoping they come out with it and they swoop in, and right as the Bronco hits dealerships, it's like, boom, here's our 392.
And here you go.
America.
Exactly.
There's no loser here.
And I just read Off the Wall 518. Who's that? That's
AJ.
Going back to the balls conversation, low mileage, one owner, fluid chains frequently. No
balls because they are low balls.
Yes, AJ, you nailed it, my friend. Absolute brilliance. I loved it. Sorry, I had to call that out. AJ, fantastic.
I think AJ just won the comments.
He won everything. Those are like the best dad jokes and gross jokes in one. Fantastic.
Did he win your balls, though?
Next time he's in town, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Isn't he just coming to town to get engaged? Isn't that
he was in town. Yeah, we had a wing thing on Wednesday. So
and he got engogged. Didn't he get engogged?
Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you, AJ.
Congratulations, AJ. Proud of you, buddy.
It was good seeing you.
Yep, always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for that sick invite.
Hold on.
Just kidding.
Let me open up Facebook.
Oh, okay,
and I will
okay.
show you the invite.
No.
You absolute asshole.
I don't read. I don't know how to read. Just kidding. Anyways, Jeep V8. Make it happen.
Well, and speaking of other FCA products with V8s, this one we are not getting. There will be no Challenger ACR.
Yeah. As quickly as that rumor flared up about them going after the Viper ACR with the Challenger ACR, it turns out they're not going to. And apparently, now correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if this is like known amongst the car community or not, or if it's just me with insider information. Apparently, the Challenger weighs a lot.
What?
I know.
I have heard that.
Yeah, approximately.
Okay.
the approximate 2-ton curb weight
Mm.
may have played a factor
I thought
in
they were
the lack of an
comparable with
ACR.
the Lotus.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, the Lotus factory. Yeah,
Yes,
the Lotus
the boat-
factory where
The
they build
boats
the
that the
Lotus.
Lotus has come over on,
Yes.
displacing 600,000 tons.
Yes.
They actually just have 2 or 3 chargers down in the engine room just powering the ship.
Yep.
It's ballast.
So
they only need one
the,
for ballast.
yeah, so Wade is gonna keep the ACR from this happening. But the brand, they said, you know what, we're gonna play to our strengths. We're gonna focus on the straight line speed. We're not gonna, try and out BMW and out Mustang to Mustang. We're just gonna go fast in the straight line, and that's all we care about.
Listen, some of us
Good for them.
remember the Sport Compact Car Technical Assistance Program. I think that could help make the Challenger ACR a reality. Fetch me a Sawzall.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
cut some weight out.
It'd still probably be like 2,500 pounds once you cut everything off of it.
Yeah, I mean,
doors.
it's going to be more like 3,000 pounds once you cut a lot of that stuff off, because
Yeah.
most of that
Glass
weight is going to
door.
be.
Are rear brakes required?
Anyway, rounding things out, Berkeley, California wants to take cops off of doing traffic stops.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so most traffic stops don't really warrant a cop being there. So
Right.
why tie up a cop doing something that they don't need to be there for?
So,
So-
just to define traffic stop, is it a speeding ticket or is that just like an accident?
So-
or you?
Berkeley is planning on forming their own little Department of Transportation. Like, fun fact, the city of New York has their own Department of Transportation. And up until very recently, the cops were not handing out like traffic tickets or doing traffic enforcement or any of that stuff. But then the NYPD said, oh, well, we can do just as good a job, if not better, and cheaper. And then guess what?
Ooh.
None of that happened.
But yeah, I mean, so like, yeah, the DOT would handle traffic enforcement and those things, and then they would call in a cop when like a real crime happened. Like oh, by the way, you've been parked here for way too long. Oh shit, are those bricks?
Yeah. And is that a body in the trunk? Oh, okay.
Well,
I'm just with the Department of Sanitation. I just was here to give you a ticket for being parked too long, so
Hey,
I'll walk away. I want
and
none
you
of
see
this.
I didn't
Yeah.
see anything.
I'm
if you
just
didn't
going
see
to
anything.
slide this ticket
I
under
didn't see
the
this.
windshield wiper, and I'm
Yeah.
just going to walk away.
And just so you know, the sewer on 3rd Street's the one to dump it in because it goes straight to the ocean. So,
There it is.
there it is. Well, hey, Berkeley, of course, they'll be they're pretty liberal up in that country. So
So the question is, though, like most people, and I'm not saying I'm part of this, but most people don't really have respect for like meter maids and that parking enforcement in downtown areas.
That little tricycle they ride around on.
Yeah.
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 So
Blue light.
Yeah.
is that going to be the same thing? Like,
It's
are people just
basic-
going to be like, "Ha, you do have no power to arrest me"?
yeah,
I mean, yeah, but then like it's rip up that ticket the meter maid gives you, and then you're going to be getting a summons.
yeah.
Like it's still a ticket. It's still a thing that you have to deal with. Like,
But what would be funny is if because this is in Berkeley, they all have Toyota Priuses or Prii as their cop
Pri.
cars or whatever their enforcement
yeah.
cars. I would be running every time. Oh, they got me for speeding. I'm just going to keep going. Hammer down. Come get me.
I'm going to maintain the speed limit and run them.
Oh, well, no, 0 to 60 in a Prius isn't bad. I'll be
Yeah.
honest. It scoots, but
It's just
after that,
70. Just 70.
it runs out of steam. So, just keep going. Anyways,
well, there we go.
that'll be interesting. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, like it would be nice if we got cops to stop doing things that they were never originally intended to do. So
What I hope they do is they do a modern version of Chips, but with these guys, it'll
yes,
be called whatever it is, the Public Sanitation of Department of Transportation, whatever
yeah,
team.
just man,
/ Netscape.
Yeah, and they're on their freaking eco scooters and whatever
Yes.
they drive. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's make
Hot.
that happen.
Man, we need
Seth Rogen needs to be in that.
we need
somehow.
somebody
I
with
got
a few
pulled over on a
segues.
Segway.
Yeah.
They got me.
Just replace the highway patrol bikes with segways, and there we go.
So
It writes itself.
I was actually talking to someone about this week. They had an experience like this too. They got pulled over by a bicycle cop.
Oh,
And my family has been pulled over by a bicycle cop in England before. Like, we had too many people in the car. It was a Mark II Jetta, by the way.
Oh,
But we tried to get it stolen. Nobody would steal it. Like, when we were leaving England, we're like, we'll just leave the keys in it and leave it in this bad part of town. Nobody would take it. That's how bad the car is. Anyway,
it's an episode of Seinfeld where he tries to get rid of his 740.
Yeah. But anyway, we had too many people in the car. We apparently drove past a bicycle cop. Never knew this happened. And then we pull in like a mile down the road to our apartment complex.
and there's this
little
dude.
bicycle comes huffing and puffing around and gets out and blocks the car and like, excuse me, I need to talk to you about this. Who are you?
There's a video. If I can find it, I'd love to send it to you guys. It's Miami Beach's bicycle protest unit.
Oh my god.
It is the like no political stance here, but it's the dumbest looking shit you've ever seen. Like these guys like come up and like try to like drift their bikes to like a wall, and like it's so bad. If I can find it, I'll send it to you guys.
Sounds about right for Florida. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
I think it's
know.
Florida.
Yeah, I think sounds right on par.
Par for the course, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
AJ would like to point out that the Challenger is actually super light compared to most yachts, and it's almost lighter than a Typhoon-class submarine.
Hey, there you go.
Hey.
Which is aren't those nuclear powered?
Yeah, that was like the biggest Soviet submarine.
Yeah, it's just almost. It's almost lighter than that. Well
Almost.
played, AJ. Man, you're zinging them tonight, AJ.
He is.
Love it. Cheers to you.
There we go.
Rosé for you.
Attaboy. Anyway,
Out of a Coke glass. I like it.
Yeah, I know. The classic. That's how we
complete
do it
with ice. Love it.
in the Christiansen household.
All right. Well, we've come to that magical part where we get to the question that I ask you people. And as we brought up last week, I do want to give away this Eric Teddy's 7600 plus zine, which is full of a bunch of kick-ass Corolla photos from his travels and everything. I also want to give away some, throw in a Cam 10th anniversary sticker. I'll do a custom print for you. And, I've got a whole bunch. I'm staring at a pile of SEMA stuff. So you're going to be getting some of that too. The question we asked is because Eric Zine, all proceeds from that go directly to Black Lives Matter. And racing is, the car scene is not necessarily known for being a bastion of inclusivity. So I just wanted to talk about, because we've all had that moment where we went from being that dude just kind of like lurking at Cars and Coffee or whatever to actually being included in the thing. Like, you went from being on the outside and being weird as hell and awkward to being on the inside and weird as hell and awkward.
I'm sorry, I found the video. It's 20 seconds long. The last 10 seconds is them actually trying to use it in a protest. A dude falls over.
Oh my God.
If you guys have 22 seconds, please watch it.
Well, we'll pop that in the show notes so people can enjoy it. Anyway, so I put it out there. The best story of you, that moment that happened for you, will get a copy of the zine, the print, the sticker, random crap, that I have no use for. There's some cool stuff that I've got. So let us first go about the room, as is tradition, before we get into some of these stories.
So I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I had an interesting experience getting involved in the car scene. So Mike and I knew that we knew each other from high school, and we intermingled at a few car events. but I remember the first like big car event I went to was meeting Dave Raleigh, where he was running after an Eclipse with the
Ghetto Award.
The Ghetto Award, and yelling and screaming, "You forgot your award."
You forgot this!
Yes. But the thing that was most interesting actually was meeting Tommy. So I would show up to these events with Mike, and there would be this super loud, boisterous, kind of a dick of a personality that I'd see at the car shows. I'm like, who's this guy? Like, who does he think he is? And kind of like the story with Mike and I. Like, Mike and I hated each other when we first met.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
And the hatred continues.
Yes. But with Tommy, I was like, he is such a dick. And, you know, I really, it rubbed me the wrong way. But then I followed him on Twitter. And I found out who he really was. And we've become best friends. Like, we actually formed a friendship over Twitter, where I realized he's, you know, just putting on an act when he gets to the shows, and people, you know, ate it up that enjoyed that sort of attitude that he brought. And so after that, I was then standing next to the loud, boisterous person who at the car shows that made fun of everybody's car, which was interesting because I don't like a lot of attention drawn to me. But anyway, it was a friendship formed over Twitter that became a close car friend.
Nice.
So I think a lot of people now find their friendships over the IG, you know, where they follow each other, and then it's like, oh, hey, I saw your car on IG.
Yeah, that's sort of fun.
On the grams.
There it is.
The Insta.
Yeah.
Man.
I guess I could go. I don't know. I've been to so many car meets. I think like everyone in this room, we've been to so many car meets where it's kind of hard to like pin down like, oh, this is such a pivotal moment of my car stuff. But Alexei from Noriak, I can never pronounce it right.
Noriaro,
there we go. When he went to Poland, he was like, every car meet's the same, no matter where you are in the world. Standing around talking about cars, which isn't a bad thing.
No.
But one of the first ones, like I used to go to 45th and State, like I think like most people in this room did, chat did. And I don't remember how I started going. I think Taylor, when he had his Pulsar, invited me. But somehow I got invited to a Drifting Through the Night event hosted by Isaiah Garcia, I think. And I showed up there, and I had my 4Runner. I still didn't know that much about cars, but I went out there, and it was at the O'Reilly's distribution center, and watching like shitbox cars drift, and like it blew my fucking mind of like, what the people do that's Fast and the Furious but real life? Like, what the fuck is this? And I think that was like super cool. I guess maybe the other one that like got on the same page too was like I used to work at K1 Speed, the go-kart place. And every Friday night, right after it closed, everyone at K1 would hop in our cars and drive out to Mexico and watch the Mexican racing. That was not the right words to say right there, but you know what I meant. And like it was like go work on go-karts all day and then go watch street racing. So it was fun, and like it was all around good people. But yeah,
that's solid. For me, this is a very sensitive subject. If you go back, 200 and something episodes to where I broke down and cried talking about the car scene itself. You remember that?
Yep.
Dear leader, I mean...
We thought you crying was going to be a fairly regular occurrence.
Yeah, no, that was just that episode because it's just, there's so much
You've
love.
Cried twice.
And it,
cried
yeah.
New Year's.
I have, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I'm a very emotional person. I'm proud of that. I don't
There's
care.
no judgment.
That's just where my heart
If Trent
is. And,
cried, we'd make fun of him. But if he
yeah,
cried,
exactly,
totally
of
fine.
course, because we know he'd be crying $100 bills. That dude prints money. Anyways, just
cry more
kidding,
often.
Trent,
Make him cry
shadowy
more often.
billionaire.
But
for me, it's
wish I
like-
cried dollar bills.
Yeah. For me, I think in the environment, the world we're living in now, I think the car scene could be at the forefront of this change that needs to happen because it's transcendent. It's like if you love a Ferrari, you can become instant friends with someone who owns a Ferrari or someone who drives a shitty ass Volkswagen, like behind me, who also loves a Ferrari, and you can share that commonality and that bond and create that. And that's the thing. I think where the car scene fails is it's still extremely sexist. Like we think women don't know what they're talking about. And Madison, she freaking dominates me in any type of knowledge about Radwood and all the Rad era cars.
Yeah.
And she's probably a better driver than me. She's probably faster. I'm going to call her out and we need to do a kart race. Madison, let's go.
There you go.
She'll probably beat me though, because I'm fat and slow. But that's the one area I think that there still needs to be some improvement. And I think that could happen. For me, obviously I'm a big dub head. I love Volkswagen, always have, always will. And it was back 11 years ago when I saw a post on VW Vortex called "Post 'em" and Dubs and Post 'em in Provo, posted up by our beloved Clark and Clark and Dan and Matt. And I only knew their screen names, whatever their forum names, whatever they're called. I can't remember. Handles? What do we call those things? I don't even remember.
Yeah, whatever.
Before my time.
Yeah, and I didn't even have a car. I had my wife's Vapor Blue 2000 Beetle, the new Beetle, which is pretty much the most, sexually questionable car ever made. But here I am rolling up by myself in that to Dan's shop in Provo, and they all had sick. There was a beautiful Mark II Jetta. Clark had his Vanagon at the time, and
I've heard stories about that.
Matt had the VR swap Mark II, and I roll up in this Vapor Blue 2-point slow VW Beetle. And I just, I was like, you know what, F it. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try and do my best and get out there and just say, hey. And I was proactive. And I just walked into the shop, said, hey, guys, I'm here for the VW meet. And there's only 5 guys there. But that forged a friendship that has lasted to this very day. Even though Matt has sworn off Euros and is now building some sick-ass GM stuff, he and I still love him, and he's still a brother to me. And people make fun of me because we run meets for the Euro Club that we formed, and we used to have the biggest one at IKEA. And people would make fun of me because I would stand in a group with people and say a couple of jokes and say hi to everybody and talk for a little bit, but then I'd bounce. And they called me ADD because they thought I was just ADD. But I made it a point at every meet that I was at to talk to every single person just to make sure that they knew they were welcome. Here it comes.
And that's a huge thing, especially for some of these people who are just like, Kitt said in one of his responses, he's just like, I still feel like I'm kind of on the outside, even though because I don't have a card. It's just like, dude, you're not on the outside. Yeah. And even just a simple little thing of you, the host of the meet, going up to somebody and being like, hey man, you having a good time?
Yeah. With me, it's like every car has something I like. Yeah. There's gonna be a shit ton of stuff on the car I don't like, and that's easy to pick out, and everybody does that. And that's what social media and internet's for. But when you're in person, find the one thing you like on the car. I guarantee you there's something on every car. Like even the Subaru kids who would come to our Euro meet, my brother had a WRX. It was probably the fastest car I ever drove at the time back in 2002. It was so much fun. I love them. They're such capable cars. Yeah, they blow up when you start modifying them. But I made it a point to go out and talk to them. Hey, thanks for coming. You're welcome. Everybody's welcome. And I think and I'm seeing that more, especially now in the evolution that we're at here in Utah. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there are a shit ton of exotic cars in Utah now. We have so much new money here that it is exploding. Like I have never seen so many supercars in all of my life. And I've been to these meets and everybody is so nice. Yeah. Just don't ask to drive their cars like some idiots would do. Don't do that. And you're fine. Just talk to them about the car. They're just like every other car enthusiast. They love to talk about cars. They love to talk about their cars. And it's just as soon as you share that commonality, you build that friendship and you build the bridge. So I think for me, that was the story, meeting Dan, Matt, and Clark and forging that friendship. Oh man. And they just open arms accepted me with this Vapor Blue Bug, which is so disgusting as a car. It was just the worst handling, grossest, slowest thing in the world. But then I got my 20th anniversary a year later. So, Matt still made fun of me and said that his Mark II VR was faster, which it was, but I'll never own up to that. But so, yeah, I think, given the change that we're seeing as a culture right now, as a nation, I think the automotive enthusiast community can be at the forefront of that. if we would just stop being such sexist assholes and just be inclusive. Like, who cares? You can run a rainbow flag. I mean, there are so many enthusiasts in our community who are gay. Who gives a crap? They're fantastic, and I love them all to death. And it's like, why would you judge someone because of that? That's the dumbest thing in the world. Yeah. And that's just closed-mindedness in general. And I think that needs to go out the window in our world. And I'm seeing it. I think it's happening. So
definitely.
I'm cautiously optimistic. Sorry, that was my rant done. A little bit of tears. I didn't actually shed a tear. I welled up.
Yeah, you got a little misty.
Shed. Little welling, no shedding, so it doesn't count. So fuck you. Anyway.
Oh, man.
My 5-year-old just heard me say that. Crap.
Well, sometimes you got to tell him Daddy gets emotional, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah, he's never heard me say that. Well, he has heard me say that quite a few times driving. Anyways, go.
Yeah, mine was really the fun days of the Honda Tech meets. Like, those were just showing up in my crappy Legend, but people were like, oh, like you're whipping this thing, huh? I'm like, yeah, tight. Like, it was just like people being stoked on this thing that I got because my dad knew somebody at a dealership, and this is what they hooked us up with. Something that was going to auction that probably wasn't going to have much of a life after that. And yeah, just people like being stoked on it and just being like, oh, well, like you can do this and then you can do this. And like, oh, you're having this problem. Like, just people like just getting unsolicited. Like, normally when you get unsolicited advice, it's just like, why are you doing this? Like, I didn't ask for this. It was just a bunch of people who are just like, you're not having this problem now, but you're gonna. And here's what you do when it happens. Which was like, it was such a welcome change, you know, from some of this.
This is what's going to happen when you supercharge a Hyundai Santa Fe.
Hey, man, that was going to be a brilliant fucking plan.
Oh, dude, I still support it.
I'm telling you, we just need to go get one of them and just do it at this point.
It'd probably be cheap enough to get one.
Oh, God, yes. But yeah, no, just like a bunch of people like just going out of their way and just saying, hey, man, like, this is awesome. These are cool. I had one. But this is what's going to go wrong if it hasn't already. And, like, here's what you need to do. If you need this, like, here's my number. Give me a call. I'll help you out. I got a couple of these just hanging out. You can come grab parts for it. Like, it was just, you know, it was, like, even at the time, like, the Honda people still had, like, this reputation of being ricer idiots and morons. And, well, for the most part, a lot of them were ricer idiot morons. But they were big-hearted idiot morons. And
so,
like, yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, like, they would, like, I remember Walter just throwing boost at his internally stocked B16, and him just being a dick to everybody, but then he would also be like, yeah, I'm just kidding, like, this is where I work. If you need something, just, like, come grab me, and I'll help you out. So, like, it was just, like, a bunch of people, like, being dicks, but then also, like, being like, yeah, but also, I'm willing to sacrifice my own time to help you out to make this a better experience for you.
Like, I wanted to add too here, like, the people we've met. Like, I think we've all met.
Oh yeah.
Sort of close friends. I met Mike at a car meet. I met Dave at a car meet.
Yeah. Like everybody.
I met you at the podcast.
I met you two in the basement. So
that's true.
Well, that sounds creepy, but yeah.
Yeah, that is very creepy. But no, like pretty much everybody who has been on this podcast or has been like a part of Cam in any way, shape, or form, like me and Trent met them at like a meet or a show or something. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah, for us, wasn't it Utah Pace? Was that where we first officially met?
Yeah, like Utah Pace.
The Pace meet, the first Pace meet, like
yes,
10 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, because I knew of you guys. We didn't think you were competition, but you know you were the other car blog in Utah, so we were like, oh crap, they're the competition. But no, then we saw that your features are way cooler than ours, so we're like, oh no, they're doing something different. We're good. So yeah, no, that I mean, yeah, it all stems from just even at a gas station. I remember some of the people that I'm still friends with that'd be like, dude, that's a rad car. And I'm like, thank you. Your car's cool too. Let's be friends. And then literally we became friends. It's like,
yeah,
like transcendent. I love it.
Yeah. Like go ahead.
I don't mean to harsh the vibe, but I will provide a counterpoint to this.
Oh,
the reason why I had to become friends with Tommy over Twitter is because everybody treated me like a complete jerk because I had a nice car. Like,
Oh, yeah.
everybody hated me.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated me, even though they knew nothing about me. And
Oh.
so I had to be friends with Mike, like somebody who knew me in person, and he had to introduce me to people because otherwise
Yeah.
I was the jerk.
Oh, yeah. There were people, like, they would see you pull up and they'd be talking to me and be like, who's this fucking guy? And I'm like, it's the guy that is going to get your ass kicked if you keep talking shit. So how about we go introduce ourselves and you stop being a dick?
Oh
yeah.
And that's a valid point. Like prejudgment, like just judging a book by its cover and coming up with bias before you even meet someone is real. Absolutely real.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, daddy must have bought that for him, or something like that. And it's just, that needs to go out the window too. That needs to be thrown out because we shouldn't be judging other people's successes. We should be celebrating that. Right. And that's what I told that to my freaking chief experience officer because he was worried about buying a GT3. He's worth $20+ million. He just retired officially. And he was like, I can't buy that car because of the image. I was like, no, you buy that car because you've earned it. And it tells us that we can earn it too.
Yeah.
If we do the same thing and put in the same effort, we can do that too.
Yeah.
Anybody can. And I hate that. I hate the whole like, it's given to him or bullshit like that. That needs to go out the window. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Trent. It still happens. It does.
It's just, like we all just need to like put it behind us because like we were all that weirdo who was just lurking. Like we need to put that shit behind us. Just be like, come on over, and like,
we were the weirdo and the legend and the vapor blue bug and the whatever Trent had back then. Probably something cool.
Yeah,
and
or
Zach
like
with his, I don't even know, a Reliant. What did you have?
My first car was
Zach wasn't of driving age at this point. He was still in kindergarten.
He was an embryo inside.
Yeah. Or like the dude who shows up in like, like the GT3 or like the McLaren or whatever, like the young dude. It's just like, he's an enthusiast just like the rest of you. Just because he's pulling up in something that costs as much as a house doesn't make him any less than.
Well, my favorite experiences with people like who have nice cars like that, like I've had some asshole people where they're like, well, you roll up here in a Subaru, I don't want to fucking talk to you. But I've had the opposite where for like people with like really nice cars, be like, you built this? This is something you did? I am so fascinated by this. And those are some of my favorite experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's just going to find that one thing. There's always going to be one thing that you will love on any car, and you can find it. And you say that to the owner, instant love. You guys remember that video? I think that's the reason I cried is they were talking about that video where the guy goes to a car meet and was filming and was talking shit on cars. And then he started complimenting every owner of the car on something on the car, and their face lights up every time. And you're just like, boom, proof's in the pudding right there.
Exactly. All right. Well, we put it out to you, the listener, what we wanted to hear. And AJ, you're still in the chat. Give me a TLDR real quick because I've been trying to go through your story and summarize it, but it is real long. So AJ, I'm going to circle back to you, but just like message me a TLDR. So, because there's a lot of meat in this, but I want to distill it down.
Can we make Joey a shirt that says all cars are trash?
Yeah, I mean, all cars are trash and car people are terrible, but we can do better. Anyway, so we did get we got some stuff in. We got some stuff on Facebook. We got some stuff in the old mailbag at camautomag.com. We even had something on Instagram. So imagine that. Let me just jump over to Instagram real quick. It was Jose Rodriguez, a guy I know because we both shoot out at the track, and he's a pretty cool dude.
He said shoot up at the track. Oh, God.
So, he asked where to tell. So his thing is, a good tale for me was attending Cars for Cures in 2014 and winning Best American Car Award with my 2005 GTO. First award ever, and it was a pretty epic feeling. So, like, yeah, that's like, you just show up to a meet or a show, and they're just like, hey, man, cool. Here's an award. I wasn't expecting it. Well, yeah, but you've earned it. Like, that's a cool feeling, too. Like, before the Ghetto Award was a derided thing, I remember there was a good, 2-year span where people were actually attempting to get the Ghetto Award. And it was really a time where people were like, no, this is just fun. This is, dumb fun.
Yeah.
Which is something that really needs to come back to, car shows and meets and everything. Just, that kind of
Not taking
fun.
yourself so seriously.
Yeah. Paint a weird bird on your hood in primer. You're going to paint it anyway. Just put the weird-ass bird on there.
I think if anybody's going to bring this attitude back to the car meets, it's first of all Brandon. Second of all, Joey.
Yes.
Joey could be just the type person to slide that in. Although Zach has tried that too. He did the let everybody sign his hood, which was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I still need to hang that on my wall.
You do.
I can't wait for a girl to come over and be like, what the fuck is that? And I'll be like, memories.
And then
who's at Hustle Energy?
Why is there a dick on here? That's
What?
Brandon McConkey. That's a long story.
What do you mean? This is the best restaurant I ever ate in.
That was my favorite one.
That's my...
But when that car runs again, I'm
Yeah.
putting that hood back on it.
Oh, yeah. Dude, you gotta.
Okay, so this goes back to what Brandon was saying. Think of all the memories you have by letting people sign your hood. Everybody can compliment that hood now. Be like, oh, that I signed that hood. Oh yeah, I did that, and you know what? That
I look
creates
forward
bonds.
from like 10 years from now, I'm throwing a house party or something, and it's hanging on my garage, and friends from those times are like, oh, there's my name, and then there's a conversation piece there, and memories and fun times.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got from Kit. He says, well, I'm still a weirdo outsider somewhat since I don't have a super cool running race car yet. However, I did manage to embed myself in the brains of my loyal subjects as the Sen Samurai God of Sen's Destroyer of Tires, the Pavement Eater, the Dragger's Bane, the Lord of Hype. So I just asked Salt City Drift one day how I could get into the community, and they told me to volunteer. And so I did, and now I'm somewhat well-known in the car community for being a terminally insane weirdo without a car.
Isn't it a bad place to be?
No.
Honestly, I didn't know he didn't have a car. I just knew he was the terminally insane weirdo that hung around the drift events.
Yep.
So
and then,
you can be a car enthusiast and not have a car.
You gotta start somewhere.
Joey was another example. Joey,
Yeah.
for a long time, was rocking the longboard, and he was still as much a part of the car community as anyone else.
Exactly. Just
I met Joey in a parking lot as well, too.
I mean, parking lots are where you
that was-
meet some very interesting, fun people. Also, some terrifying things happen in parking lots, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, owning a car is not a prerequisite to being a car enthusiast. You are enthusiastic about cars. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to own them.
Brandon example, he loves Ferrari in and out. That doesn't mean he doesn't own. He doesn't have to own a Ferrari to be that.
No, I will someday, I'm going to work my balls off and hopefully have a 355, 360, 430, or 458, whatever the budget is, someday. That's the ultimate goal. And we'll get there. So, But yeah, you don't have to have it. You just have to be a fan of it. And then just, get out there, talk to people.
And speaking of people, Brandon McConkey, damn, I wish I had a story to contribute. My introvertedness has kept me at weird outsider status out at the track, despite being a regular for the past decade or so. I do want to say sorry I didn't come up and say hi to you, Brandon, but I had to, I was doing some things, so I didn't necessarily have time. I'm sorry. But I did get pictures of you, though.
Can I call bullshit, though?
What?
I don't think I've ever been around Brandon McConkey without an awesome car-related story.
Oh, yeah, no. He's definitely selling himself short with this introvert. No, dude. He will come up and he will tell... He'll just melt your face with a crazy story and then be like, all right, well, I got to go. And then
No. If you want to talk introverted and why I'm not further ingrained in the car community is me. It was Mike was in the pits talking to all the racers. And I'm like, no, I'm going to hang out at the attitudes.
Yeah. Although
I don't want to talk to people.
Although I will say
it's scary.
People still ask about you. They're just like, how's Trent doing? And I'm like, he's doing good. It's just he's not
Ooh.
I'll run into like some old heads, like some people who remember like the early days of Cam, and they're just like, oh well, like how's Trent doing? Like where is he? It's not as random as just like the one Reardon dude at the Enduro a few years ago noticing my Cam hat and saying, hey, is Pizza Dad here? I'm like, you've got to go change the fucking tires on this car. No, he isn't.
Of course not. Never there. Never anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brandon continues, I don't think I've been in the cool kids group in the automotive world since the 99-2004-ish street racing days. I probably wasn't cool then either. I mostly just had a bunch of names and trolled people on SLC SR, which I pointed out that might have been like the high point. That might have been the peak of cool. And then,
which I actually for my podcast interviewed Damon Burton not that long ago, and we reminisced about the Elite Rides days and SLCSR and all that good stuff. That was peak for me.
oh yeah, those were the Elite Ride days. Those were. I remember when Damon was working at U92. I came up and he was just like, because he had Elite Ride stickers, and he's like, well, you got to come get them. Like, I can. And I just wound up being on U92 for like 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, because there was just like nothing else. Like, there was nothing else happening. He was just like, whatever, like nobody's listening. Like, cool. Like, neat.
Didn't you also like get roped into broadcasting NASA races or something?
Yes, because of the podcast, Matt and Dave asked me to do the Enduro, and then they wanted to do more of the NASA races like throughout the rest of the year and into this season, but this season's been fucked up and weird. But we actually did broadcast this past weekend, and then we're going to be doing the Enduro. So what that means is I'm going to be running around, hanging out with Toby and Bruno and following them around, showing people what goes into like an amateur endurance racing thing. But then like 10 to 6, I'm going to be upstairs in race control in my little spot calling the 6-hour Enduro. So
you need somebody else there to
yes,
have some banter with.
I need somebody else, and God love Austin Kent, but he was up there, but he wanted nothing to do with the microphone. Even though he can speak very well, he is very insightful. He was interacting with the chat great, but it was just like he really didn't want to be on the mic, so I didn't have like my color guy. But thankfully, people would just come filter up because Matt and Dave and some other people were just like, "Go up there. There's a man with a microphone on the internet. And he wants to tell your tale." So like random people would show up.
If you want Jason Bateman in Dodgeball, I'm your guy. ESPN 8, the Ocho.
We might need that. We might need that.
It's a bold move,
that
Patton.
red car did something. Yeah. We'll see how that turns out.
So good.
Anyway, moving on. Joey, I'm going to say right now, you're not eligible to win because I bought 3 copies of the magazine, one to give away, one for myself, and one for you as an apartment warming present. So you've already got one. So congratulations. But Joey says it was probably hanging out with Dave initially, then hanging out with Trent and Michael and meeting more people. But I've always lurked unless there's people I know, and have also since fallen away from the whole community. Kind of hard when you don't have a car to talk about. Gonna change though, hopefully. Which no, it's gonna change. It's definitely gonna change. I can tell you that he's putting in work on his Cressida that he's got, trying to get that thing a bit more roadworthy. It was weird. This is the second time in my life I have gone down to Utah County with a friend and returned to Salt Lake County with a burgundy 80s 7M powered Toyota. So it's just a weird thing that happens.
They're just breeding them down there.
Right? Anyway, so we've got a couple emails from Devin Creasy, the story of how drifting took over my life. You guys have probably heard me tell the story a few times now, to be honest. I don't really remember, but hey. When I got into drifting, I volunteered at all the events I could because I wanted to get into drifting, and my car was pretty much always broken. an 8.6 and tight college student budget don't mix well. After about a year and a half, I thought I was finally going to drift my car at an event, but I still needed a few things. I posted on the Drift Utah Facebook group a few days before the event that I would volunteer again because of my car problems and I had zero money. The response I got was overwhelming. People offered to give me parts off their cars so I could get mine out there. I didn't realize that just by volunteering at the events, I had become a part of the community. I didn't actually get to drive at the event because nobody had the 8.6 parts I needed, but still. I was going through a bunch of stuff in my life at this point, and I was really touched by the generosity and camaraderie of the drift community. It's a huge part of why I love the sport so much, and I always try to do the same thing for new drifters now, which is very true. Anytime somebody posts up in Drift Utah like, hey, I'm new, like, what do we do? Devin's always just like, come to an event. This is when we're doing it. Just come hang out. It doesn't really matter. Just get out there. Then... let's see, Luke Dreyer, good random time of day. I know long time no write this way. Hopefully I will improve my correspondence in the future. With that being said, here is my moment. I've always had a thing for cars and was a mechanic in the Marines. When I got out in June 2009, I needed to fill the gaps of my time while searching for my job/career. In July 2009, the engine of my G20 decided to get a rod knock, as SR20 DEs do. I had a bit of money left over from my travel claim from the Marines and decided to install an SR20 DET. While researching what I needed and doing the swap, I joined a couple of forums and found some pretty cool peeps in the northern Utah area. After attending a few Utah Nissan's meets, I started attending other venues as well. The big one that opened me up to Utah's car culture is ISS Utah. It has been a great venue and allowed me to open up my car friend base globally. I regularly chat to people from the UK and Belgium. While some of the more niche local groups have dropped off or faded, I still get to enjoy going to meets and usually bumping into enthusiasts throughout. A few enthusiasts have stickers saying, I know Dwayne. Well, I am cool enough to say Dwayne knows me. All joking aside, Utah has a large car scene and not all of it is great, but you can find the great parts and enjoy it. While I can't say I'm an insider, it is nice to know the scene was nice enough to let me partake. Yeah, I mean, like you're sitting at the cool kids table, which is a big ass table, or at least it is in our world. So, hey man, God willing,
have you seen the table in your basement, Mike?
It is 32 square feet of table. That is a lot of fucking table. Let's see, Brandon Kuhn. Honestly, my in moment was probably when Mr. Michael Chandler threw a high-vis vest at me and took me into the infield for a drift event at RMR. I'd been a fan of all things internal combustion for decades, but that was my first time really being involved in some way, and it's been all downhill from there. Now I own a party car, and if I'm not driving it, I'm photographing something automotive. And AJ had a very hard time summarizing his letter, but the long and short of it is, it's not exactly a moment, but it is a story. Like, it was a fun car meet weekend that it seems to involve meeting up and doing some below board street racing, as one is wont to do, putting a kid with a Civic in his place, running from the cops, hiding in a restaurant, going out and street racing the next night, hiding in another Denny's, and then having one of the guards at the base he was stationed at keeping him, making sure that some dude in a Charger didn't come in and come get AJ and his friends. So
that sounds like a plot for an awesome movie.
This is a long-ass story, and I will send it to the lot of you. But it is an intense story from the bits that I have kind of gone over, because that's what I've been doing. If you notice, I keep looking over, trying to figure this thing the hell out, trying to summarize it, and yeah.
I'd like to formally submit a bid of $5 for the rights to make this into a movie.
Can I bid at 10?
Ooh, this is getting spicy. AJ has your agent, bodyguard, and drug getter keeper aware. I'll go ahead and handle this. All right, guys. Well, we've heard all of the tales, all of the stories. what do we think? Who do we think who do you think wins the prize bag? All right, Zach, what do you got?
Brandon made me tear up a little bit, but he isn't eligible.
Yeah, I'm not. It doesn't count. So.
Yeah, no. So, like, of the ones I read to you.
I would give it to Kitt.
Yeah? Brandon?
I mean, it was a condensed version, but I mean, AJ, we've all done some silly things in our lives, so, and those are some of the ones we remember the most. So
Yeah.
I'd probably go that route, AJ.
Okay. Trent, how about you?
It's between those two, Kitt and AJ. I'll be honest, I'm kind of leaning towards AJ. It's just it's a story we can all relate to, I think.
We've definitely Lord knows me and you, Trent, have had some very interesting evenings.
Yes.
Out there doing car stuff.
Many a few.
Oh my God. Yeah. That S2000 road trip. Oh boy.
Did you come on the S2000 road trip?
Yeah, where we met up with those dudes and did the canyon drive.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to think. I've been on 3 Southern California S2000 drives, and all 3 of them ended with somebody going off a cliff. Was this the one where he like spun, clipped, and went upside down into the poison ivy?
Yep.
Or poison oak?
Yep.
That's the one. Okay. Yep. Yep. That was a good one.
That was an entire...
Gave ourselves alcohol baths after.
Yeah. God.
That guy should win this award. Wow.
Whomever he was. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Kitt. So, I mean, it's 2-2. So, here's what I'm thinking. I'll just give you both stuff. So, I'll order up another one of these zines. And, talk to both of you guys, Kitt and AJ, figure out what print you want. Try to keep, like, 11 by 17, 16 by 20, nothing crazy, something I can still kind of print and ship relatively easily. And then I'll just grab some of the SEMA stuff. And, AJ, you already got a 10th anniversary sticker, so you're good there. But, yeah. So there we go. We got 2 winners. We got Kitt, we got AJ. So congratulations, boys.
Congrats.
Yep. So we have way ass run the clock. We're at about 2 hours now.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, Brandon, if you can keep some F1 stuff real short.
Real short. Okay, here we go. We're going to shotgun it. You guys ready?
I'm going to set a timer for 3 minutes because that's how much time we have until 9.
Done. I got it. Here we go.
Okay.
First off, the Teflon Don is back in Formula One and back with the team that cheated for him to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Fernando Alonso is back at Renault starting in 2021. He will drive alongside Esteban Ocon, who is famous for battling his teammate. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But awesome. I'm excited. I think he still has some talent, although I'm not the biggest Alonso fan. I think it'll be great to see him in here.
Mm-hmm.
Second, the Austrian GP V2, 2.0, whatever you want to call it, happened last weekend. It was
Austrian
spectacular.
GP2, the Styrian Boogaloo.
Yes, the Styrian Boogaloo, because qualifying was in the rain and pouring rain, and it was awesome. And George Russell made it into Q2 for the first time in, 4 years for Williams? Yeah. I mean, that was a huge victory for them.
Yeah.
Didn't really pan out in the race, but, I mean, it was great. And then the race itself was kind of boring at the first, it was exciting at the first, unless you're a Ferrari fan like me.
Yeah.
Because Ferrari did what Ferrari does and sucked, and Leclerc saw an opening that wasn't there, lunged, and hit Vettel, and they both were out by lap 2 of the race. So Ferrari had 0 points. Their season's done. They suck anyways. They need to fire Waldo. The Italian Waldo needs to go. And I actually had a rant with our you have a Utah F1 chat that I'm a member of. Yeah. And I said, Ferrari is just like cheering for BYU. They're irrelevant and useless, and they suck. And it's just like,
wow,
they need to pull out of all motorsports. Yeah, I was like, they need to pull out of all motorsports. When's the last time that Ferrari's dominated anything? It hasn't happened in the last 13 years.
So they don't have a factory-like GT program, but their customer GT programs are actually not terrible.
Yeah, but it's not them. It's whatever the guy's name is.
I know which one they're dominating.
What?
The Ferrari Challenge Series.
Yeah. It's always a
which is
Ferrari 1, 2, 3, man.
every single time.
And there's always at least 3 to 4 wrecks because there's just these rich dudes that don't know how to drive that want to go racing.
Your rich-ass dentist. Anyway,
Yeah,
54 seconds.
Okay, so Lewis Hamilton won. He was on pole, but the end of the race the best part of the race was Lando Norris. This kid is my new favorite driver.
Last lap,
Lando passed 3 people to get 4th. Didn't he end up in 4th place? Fifth place. Yep. Max Verstappen got 2nd, which was awesome for Red Bull. I like Max. I like Red Bull. Who got 3rd? I can't remember. It wasn't Valtteri.
It was Max.
It was
Max was 3rd. Valtteri got 2nd.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because Mercedes is 20 seconds faster than everybody else. So that's Formula One. The last like 45 minutes of the race were spectacular. It was so great. So watch it. They're not on next week. I think in 2 weeks they're in Hungary. So
there you go.
Yep.
All right.
Formula.
Good. With 4 seconds left, real quick, Renault is protesting the racing points. So that could be a thing.
Because it's a basic copy of Mercedes. Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Their big point is the brake cooling ducts. NASCAR for the All-Star race, the cars are going to be running at Bristol under the lights with underglow. And
sponsored by Underglow. Yes.
And naturally, NASCAR fans are shitting a brick because they don't understand fun. All right, folks, this has been a long-ass episode, but a good one, I feel.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We touched on some stuff. So
We
thank
touched
you.
some hearts, too.
Yes, we did. Got you right here. Remember, Kit, AJ, shoot me a message and we'll figure out stuff. So, guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you, 3 gentlemen, for joining me most Monday nights. I say most because, Brandon, you have a tendency to just disappear and break our hearts. But it's okay.
Right.
It's okay. We know you're here in spirit. But yeah, thank you guys as always for joining us. Thank you for providing a little bit of normalcy in my crazy ass life right now. I appreciate it. And yeah, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. This here podcast is available every Wednesday, but if you're a patron, support us on patreon.com/camautomag. You can listen to it a day early, and you can even watch us record it every Monday evening. So that is a fun thing that you can do. Otherwise, follow us on all of our social medias. We are at Cam Automag on the lot of them, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Buy our stuff, like the shirt that Trent is wearing, the long-sleeve Cam new logo tee. We've got a whole bunch of stuff, shirts, backpacks, hats, flip-flops, all available at CamAutoswag.com, the official home of Cam Automag merch. Support our longtime sponsor, Steady Broke Clothing, SteadyBroke.com. Got a bunch of quality, affordable merchandise. Put all that stuff in your cart. Use coupon code CAMAUTO15 at checkout. Every Tuesday we get together. We play some video games. We broadcast on our Twitch channel. This week we will have played Rocket League because that's a fun game because it's got cars and rockets and soccer and hilarity and chaos. So twitch.tv/CamAutoMike is where you go to check out the action. It's just a fun thing that we do, just kind of hanging out, keeping it casual. And yeah, we will be back next week with another episode. Hopefully we will get to some of these shenaniganry stuff. We don't have to run down racing in 4 minutes. But either way, for episode 273 of the Camcast, I have been Mike.
I've been Zach.
I've been Trent.
Pizza Dad.
Yay! All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Love you guys.
We love you too.
Gotta go help tub time now.
Okay. Bye.